three. Game on the line. Williams lofting one for a doozy. He caught
it! You're listening to the world's #1 football podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen, Matt Hartman, and Ryan Matthews.
Can you tell that it's NFC North Day? I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. And, yeah. Matt, how we doing, man?
You know?
Chat, what a wonderful day for football. Preseason started, so Ben's already telling us all about the Eagles, so let's swing it to Ben.
Yeah, Tanner McKee. Huh?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm doing – yeah, I mean, better quarterback than Dak Prescott. I don't know, second best quarterback in the division, that's for sure. Jay Daniels, too. No, I mean, it's great. I'm definitely enjoying myself watching football at its back. Yeah, let's go football. Woo. Ryan, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, just happy about the fact that I've tried so hard. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but okay, from previous years and just episodes in general, I've discovered that I'm really bad at making everything in a comparison to my Bears. And so for those of you that have listened for years and years, I apologize for that, but I'm trying to do better, right? And so when we talk about these teams, I'm trying to analyze them without putting anything in there, or at least minimizing the amount that I'm, saying about my Bears. And now I get to talk about them. I'm free, I get to just, talk about them. It's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I will say this before we dive into everything. Dude, it was so hard to pick for all of these teams. I'm seriously, before we dive into it, I seriously think that all of these teams could be in the playoffs, it's, you know what I mean? Maybe not at the same time, but I genuinely think that all of these are playoff quality teams.
Yeah, there was 40 wins between the top three last year. It's a fun division.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dive into it, but first we have to dive into the news.
I have two things. So shout out the YouTube audience. Shout out Ryan for his Trevor Lawrence video. The Texans fans really showed out. Over 400 views on that one, and then Ryan's video got over 300. The film reviews will be coming for more players. If you request for, strictly quarterbacks right now, if you're requesting, but over the course of the season, there obviously could be things that we want to talk about, and so shout out to the YouTube community. Gained over, it sounds like nothing, but 10 plus subscribers in the last seven days is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
and I want to add to that if possible too. The coolest thing about the fact that we're doing more film reviews is the fact that we're going to be doing them together. It's not going to be just me anymore. Just to give you a little peek behind the curtain, some of you guys had watched the Trevor Lawrence video that I had put out before the most recent Trevor Lawrence video. I had deleted the first one because I feel like it was a lazy excuse of a video compared to the other content that we put out. Matt, like I said, peek behind the curtain here, does a lot of the editing and everything to make sure that we can get the schedule predictions out. And, I feel like if he's going to put that much energy into it, I should match that and kind of give you guys the quality content that you guys deserve as well. And so that's why I wanted to take that one down and then ultimately redo it. Matt, being an absolute G, went through the plays with me to kind of spot out some things that I might not see. And that's exactly what you guys are going to be seeing on more film reviews between the three of us. And if not the three of us, there's going to be at least two of us there. So, it's going to be fun. We're going to be flexible with it and give you guys the chance to throw us some suggestions like Matt said. And, we'll dive into whatever quarterback you guys want. Anything else before we hit news?
Yes, let's talk about the main news. Josh Hoover's a furry. All right, we need to talk about this. This has come out
confirmed
this
not
week.
a furry, by the way.
He actually said, "This is me." That one is purple. The one on the left is purple. He plays for the Horned Frogs, who wear purple. Ben, I'm sorry. Keep up. But this came to my knowledge early this week, and we needed to talk about it, chat. All right, this is insane. And then it came out that Jay Knott, he's also confirmed furry. So yeah, I thought
that is confirmed.
Yeah, no, he was taking pictures, putting up the peace sign. He was not in his persona, just like by the way, but like he did take pictures with the other furries. So I just wanted to shout this out with Josh Hoover. But on a serious note, he is not a furry, so don't send hate his way. Unless he
don't send hate to anybody, but
unless he tweets about it and says oh wait, he did. So yeah, I think he confirmed it. Let's get into the football news, guys. All right, now that we got the real business taken care of.
That's no, Jaden confirmed furry, like taking pictures
confirmed.
With people.
Confirmed.
Like in furry guys.
Yeah.
Josh
just in case you were curious.
Definitely not confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've ever wondered, is that guy a furry?
A furry.
He is in my book. I don't know. Sounds fair enough to me. I don't know.
It's very
weekly news. So obviously, we'll get the big stuff out of the way first. Terry McLaurin and Micah Parsons both requested trades. So, I mean, these guys are going to get paid. What are we wasting time on? You know what I mean? They're going to get paid. But the Micah Parsons Notes app screenshots were crazy. Like, if you guys actually read those things, my God. And here's a quote. Thanks, Matt, for pulling it up. I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Wow. All right. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Money talks. We are completely, and interrupt me if I'm wrong, but we are completely under the impression that none of this matters. He's going to get paid anyway, and he'll probably be a Cowboy for life. So, it is what it is. He's not practicing, at least didn't today specifically because of, I want to say it was some kind of minor injury that he was just kind of staying away from the field for a sec. So, but normally he's been just watching practice on the side. He's got a practice jersey on, but no pads underneath or anything. Just not participating in drills or anything as they are having ongoing negotiations. But that's really it, for Micah. And then as far as Terry, I think they're in active negotiations right now. From what I'm hearing, he wants around the DK numbers. And I'm pretty positive that they're just caught up on, it's not guarantees, but the annual amount. I think they offered him something like 28 or 29, and he's looking for 33. It's not too far out, and I still don't think there's a doubt in my mind that Terry McLaurin will play week 1 and he will be a Commander. No big deal. So, Matt, anything to add?
No, the Cowboys continue to be unserious, so we need to not comment on too much of what they do. And then also, like, fan base. I love when fan bases come out of nowhere and they're like, "I'd trade for him," and then it's like, "Well, it would take probably 3 first-round picks," and they're like, "That's too much. You're crazy." So yeah. I think that's what it would take for Micah Parsons. And then for Terry, I mean, yeah, he's better than DK, so he probably deserves as much as DK got. So I think they're going to continue to hold out until that happens. They still got a month until the games actually kick off, so I assume they'll get done, as I've said the entire time. No, like, I think there's 2 things. The picks are still going to be there in, like, March, and the franchise tag exists. So, like, if they play out a deal, you can just tag them and then trade them in March. And then number 2 is, like, no NFL team has ever traded a player that they've wanted to keep. Like, that's just a common conception around the league, is that, like, nobody, like, the only guy that was really a major trade before the season was Khalil Mack. And it was because the Bears went over the top with 2 first-round picks. So it's like that, and at that time, that was a blockbuster move. So I don't expect any trade to happen. I expect someone to get signed here soon. I don't know when, but someone will.
Absolutely, yeah. And it seems, first off, to get this out of the way, it seems like I'm at a bit of a delay from you guys for some awful reason. But that's besides the point. No, and like the both of you had said, I think both of these are pretty unserious requests. There were reports a couple hours ago that, like, okay, there actually might be a little bit of gumption behind this Micah Parsons trade, and that, like, he actually might seriously, like, be considering this as an option. But again, like Matt said, how often do we actually see any of this happen? So, but yeah, I would expect both teams to sign long-term deals before the start of the season in a month.
Yeah, I just want to add really quick, and this is highly unexpected based off of what I've said in our group chat and everything. But after some time to think about it, and the shock value, I guess, has worn off. In the scenario Micah Parsons becomes available, rather, I don't think the Bears should do it. I think it's stupid. So any Bears fan that's like saying, hey, like, this is something we should absolutely pursue, I genuinely don't think we're in the position to do that. I feel like this is a trade that you make when you're a player or two away from being Super Bowl contenders. And I don't think adding Micah Parsons would get us there just yet. Just honestly, I don't think that that's where we're at right now. Now, if Caleb's the guy and, maybe a year or two later, something like this pops up, then you make a phone call, in my opinion. But right now, you just paid a guy from Indy, and he's a little bit of a project or wild card, and you paid him a lot of money to go ahead and be your starting edge on the opposite end of Montez Sweat. Not only that, but you also just extended Montez Sweat, and he's getting ready to play his third season with you. It's not something that I feel like you're absolutely, in the position to do right now. So kind of, chill out a little bit. All right. This is going to play out. Cowboys are going to be happy. And, it's crazy anyway. So it's stupid to even consider it, in my opinion. But we're not there yet. Just pump the brakes a little bit. I know we made the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman, but Jesus, man, just chill out a little bit. We're not there. Anyways, next headline is a little bit of a minor one. So, like, stop me if you want to make a comment, but I'm just going to skip past this one afterwards. The DC Council has voted 9-3 in favor of returning the Commanders to their old RFK Stadium site in Washington, D.C. My overall takeaway from it is cool. So they can start building a good stadium, right? Hey, Trump, stay out of it. There's bigger things to worry about. That's all politics I'm going to say. But cool. That's all I got to say. Now, I'm going to hit on the extensions and kind of speed run this because, we have a pretty awesome division to talk about. I've got a really good feeling we're going to spend a lot of time on it. And these are all kind of minor extensions, in my opinion. So, like, again, stop me if there's something you guys want to add. Broncos and D lineman Zach Allen have agreed to a 4-year, $102 million extension. Dolphins and D lineman Zach Sealer have agreed to a 3-year, $67.75 million extension. Falcons and offensive tackle Caleb McCary have agreed to a 2-year, $30 million extension. And last but not least, thanks, Matt, Rams and running back Kyren Williams have agreed to a 3-year, $33 million extension. Anything on this, guys? Good answer. Awesome. So
okay. Well, I was just waiting. Oh no, the delay's killing me. No, I liked the Kyren extension. It was good. It was something that Matt had brought up in our little group chat. It's funny because he's not a very explosive back, but getting Kyren for $11 million a year, I think is good value. And again, I think we're just waiting now at this point for the James Cook extension, and they can look. You can say, well, hey, I at least want $1 million. So I'm just interested to see if that plays any sort of impact into, the contract extension getting done at least semi-soon with James Cook.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is a good deal on both sides. Rams get a good back that they use a lot. He's got a lot of volume. So, and $11 million per year is pretty good. Now, on the Kyren Williams side of things, $23 million guarantee, also really good. If I remember correctly, I don't think Kyron Williams is like the youngest running back in the league. 24, not bad. But I mean, they got him locked down for 3 years, so he's gonna be, he's gonna be locked down for probably like the rest of his prime, I would add. And the cool thing about that is that, I mean, that volume I was talking about, you can continue to have. And in the scenario he gets hurt, because that is a lot of snaps for a running back, he gets $23 million guaranteed. So he could still walk away with majority of that contract regardless. So that's what I'm looking at there. Next up, a couple Vikings points here. Vikings outside linebacker Anthony Barr is retiring from the NFL after 10 seasons. So heck of a career from him. I'm just going to tip my hat to him. And then Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison will be suspended for the first 3 games of the 2025 regular season for violating the league substances abuse policy. Cool for me. Bad for him. If we play him week 1, I don't know. So yeah, that's the rest of the Viking stuff. Free agent safety Tracy Walker has been suspended just because the NFL doesn't like him. No, I'm just kidding. The reason hasn't been put out yet, so it's to be determined as to why.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So that's that. Let me see. Oh, okay. We've got injuries too. So Patriots corner, Marcellus Dial Jr. Suffered a torn ACL and will miss the entire 2025 season. Eagles have also placed Paris Campbell on season-ending IR. Ben's going to be back, guys, by the way. He's just restarting his stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Chargers offensive tackle Rashawn Slater suffered a torn patella tendon and has been placed on season-ending IR. This is huge hit to that O-line. Big miss here. And then Texans safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson suffered a knee injury and will also be on season-ending IR. So this is the sad point in the preseason here to where, what's that?
No. There were reports
no,
that
not on season-ending?
He
it was a source off.
He's out for the season. And then very quickly after, it was like, oh, no, actually, okay. He didn't tear his ACL. It's still intact. We don't know like the extent to what that injury is, and it is kind of severe, but he's not quite yet placed on season-ending injury.
Okay, all right, perfect. Well,
bad things always happen to the greatest of people.
So anyway, yeah.
No comment.
So that's it for news. The last bit that I want to add, if I can, I mean, we already hit on it just a little bit. Unless am I forgetting something, Ben? What am I missing?
Well, I could have missed it when I was loading here. Obviously, we don't know the extent to like how bad it was, but Anthony Richardson like really messed up his finger badly.
Oh, yeah. He dislocated his pinky.
He's a quarterback, honestly made out of glass. But I mean, look at the pictures, and that's on his throwing hand. I would be shocked if he participates in camp at least for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, it's a gross little picture that's out there.
Well, I mean, in good news, it seems like the Colts' decision just got a little bit easier for who's going to be starting week 1. I don't know. But
yay, Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Who's excited about Danny Dimes, baby? Come on. Read option with Jonathan Taylor. Are you serious? Absolutely.
Also, ESPN bought Red Zone, guys. That one was and then everybody said we should have a college football Red Zone. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I like that idea. For people like me that work on Saturdays, it's nice to like
you can't like get all the rights because there's a game on NBC, there's a game on Peacock, there's a game on CBS. So it's like who's going to ESPN's going to do that. ESPN's going to be like, "You know what? All your viewers are going to come to us." And I don't think Fox or NBC would ever agree to that.
I don't think they'd be cool with
that. They
also
tried to do that. Like ESPN Goal Line, look it up. That's a thing. Like that they tried to do this and nobody gave a single. You could finish that one. All right.
Last point I want to make
dude.
is Ben needs to shut off his alarm. I'm just kidding. No, but we already hit on it beforehand. It'd be really cool if you guys haven't to go ahead and check out that Jaguars video that's on YouTube. If you haven't already,
check out all the YouTube previews.
Well, right. Yeah, I was just about to go into that. Matt's put in a lot of effort towards breaking down every single one of our individual schedule record predictions. So also go into those because, those are awesome. But yeah, thanks for the support on YouTube. Again, we really, really appreciate that. One of my favorite things to talk about in the group chat is like your guys' comments in there. So I cannot wait to see what happens with the NFC North. And I don't want to start with my team. I'll let you guys pick. Who do we start with?
Ben, that's all you.
The
Vikings. Oh, nope, not that. Matt, start us off.
All right, the Vikings, their last season was pretty awesome. They were 14-3. Second in the division, they lost in the wild card to the Rams. It's crazy to see a team win 14 games and have 4 losses, and they actually only lost to 2 teams. They got swept by the Lions and then lost to the Rams once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. Their offensive EPA per play was actually worse than I thought. They were 14th, so not great for a 14-win team, and Sam Darnold, who threw for 35 touchdowns, but hey. That's what it is. Their pass block win rate was 70%, which is pretty good because they lost Darisaw midseason and traded for Cam Robinson. Their run block win rate was 15th. This is where they were really, really good. Their defensive EPA per play was second, negative .091. Their pass rush win rate was 4th. Their run stop win rate was 4th. And then this is the first time for all the quarterbacks I like to do, like, little EPA per play stat. Couldn't do it with J.J. McCarthy because he hasn't played a snap, and he played a quarter and a half against the Raiders in that preseason game. So we got nothing on this guy. They kept, of course, Byron Murphy. That was a big keep for them. 3 years, $54 million. He's going to be their nickel. Harrison Smith came back for another year, $1 million, one for $10 million. And then Aaron Jones came back 2 years, 22. It kind of got like a restructure a little bit. I think he did have, it was kind of like an option thing. So he has 2 years left on his contract. Van Ginkel got an extension 1 year, $23 million. He was awesome last year. Metellus got an extension. He's under contract till 2029. And then Josh Oliver, kind of a blocking tight end, got a contract till 2029. And then their free agency, they spent huge in free agency on the trenches. Will Fries, 5 years, $87 million. He's going to play guard for them. Jonathan Allen, 3 years, $51 million. Javon Hargrave, 2 years, $30 million. Ryan Kelly's coming in to play center, 2 years, $18 million. Isaiah Rodgers, their CB1, baby, 2 years, $11 million. And then Jeff Okudah I had to throw in here because he's CB2, baby. And then they traded. They made a little trades. Jordan Mason I liked. They swapped 187 for a 6th and a 6th for 160. So they moved up 27 spots and got Mason, who I think the Niners were kind of out on anyway. And then they traded for Howell. They traded down 30 spots pretty much to get Sam Howell, and they needed a backup quarterback. They drafted. They only had 5 draft picks, so let's just run through them. Donovan Jackson, interior offensive lineman from Ohio State. Ty Felton, receiver from Maryland. Ty Ingram Dawkins from Georgia. Kobe King, off-ball linebacker from Penn State. And Gavin Bartholomew, tight end from Pitt. Their departures, obviously Sam Darnold, Cam Bynum, Cam Robinson, Daniel Jones, Pat Jones, and Garrett Bradbury. With all those guys leaving, and then signing massive amounts of guys, they still are eligible for 3 comp picks. I looked it up, specifically the rounds 3 and rounds 4 for the picks of Darnold and Jones. So the quarterbacks, they're still going to get replenished in comp picks, which was something that they were trying to do last year when they moved all that for Dallas Turner, I believe. They traded a ton of picks because they knew they'd get comp picks down the line. And then we get into the season outlook question for me. What if corner is just a nightmare? Because it might be. The boundary corner room right now is Isaiah Rodgers and Jeff Okudah, both of whom were pretty much depth or third string guys on their previous teams. The backups are 2023 third round pick Mekhi Blackman, who I kind of liked. He tore his ACL in camp last season, so like he's hasn't played in a long time. Dwight McGlothern, he played 19 snaps on the defensive end for them last season, and he's CB4 right now. I think this team makes a vet corner move. They still have $25 million. They have a rookie quarterback, so it's easy to kind of allocate, $5-7 million to an actual corner who can play like with a pulse, and then get the rest of rollover for next year. But yeah, all the cards point to them getting another one, and maybe that front four is really, really good because they've spent a lot on that one. Jonathan Grenard, Van Ginkel just got another extension, as I mentioned, and then Dallas Turner they took in the first round last year. So, yeah, let's get into their schedule prediction.
Let's do it. So, just as always, we're going to do just top row, middle row, bottom row. For the Vikings, let's see. Okay, cool. I have them losing against Chicago week 1, and then winning the rest of these games. Falcons, Bengals, Steelers, Browns, to go 4-1 into the bye.
I have them beating Chicago. I have them then losing the next two against Atlanta and Cincinnati, and then winning the 2 out of country games. Both again in Ireland against the Steelers, and then in London against the Browns. So they'll be 3-2 at the bye.
Well, I'm right there with you, Ryan. I have them losing that first game against the Bears and then winning out. So I have them being 4-1 going into the bye. And bit of a spoiler alert here. I copped out a little bit when it came to these divisional matchups. I like all of these teams. I think for the most part, they're all pretty equally matched. So each team will go 4-4 in the division, and they will be winning their home games and losing their away games.
Okay. All right. Middle row for me, I have them losing the next 4 games. Eagles, Chargers, Lions, Ravens. I have them losing all 4 games. Then they will beat the Bears and then beat the Packers in Lambeau.
I have them losing the first 3 of this row and then winning the next 3 of this row. So if they're going to lose to the Eagles, then lose to the Chargers, lose to the Lions, and then beat the Ravens, Bears, and Packers.
There you go. I have them losing against the Eagles because, of course. Beating the Chargers and then losing the next 2 against the Lions and Ravens, beating the Bears and then losing against the Packers. They picked up 2 dubs and put 4 in the loss column there in these 6 weeks.
And then for the last 6 games, I have them beating the Seahawks, losing to the Commanders, beating the Cowboys and Giants, losing to the Lions, and then beating Green Bay in week 18 for a win total of 9-8 for me.
I have them losing again the first 3 of this row: Seahawks, Commanders, and then Cowboys, and then winning the next 2, beating the Giants, beating the Lions, and then losing to the Green Bay Packers, finishing at 8-9. And this was the one of the division where it's like, man, I hated this. I just feel like this one's going to be wrong. Having them at 8-9. I trust their infrastructure. I trust their defense. But again, someone's got to lose games throughout the season, and it turned out to be this team. Their over-under is 8.5, so it's right at our line, minus 140 and then plus 120 for the under. Let's see if Ben goes over or under.
Yeah, well, I'll make it easy to tell that. I have them winning every single game in this stretch outside of the Giants game, which is fantastic. So I have them finishing the season at 11-6. So I'm definitely the high man on this team. I mean, that should come as no shock if my camera actually worked to you guys. You guys would be able to tell the flag that was hanging behind me. No, it is not a Vikings flag. It is a Michigan flag. For me, like you said, Matt, I really do like the infrastructure that this team has put together. To be frank, don't really think Sam Darnold is that good of a quarterback, and you just need J.J. McCarthy to be able to distribute the ball to his weapons. That's exactly what he did at Michigan. It was a success at Michigan. Obviously, it's a step up in competition, but he's not going to be asked to do all of these crazy things because he can just rely on all of the targets that he has around him. So I'm definitely the high man on them at 11-6.
I was going to say, I think my bold take for this team going into the season, and it's not just me being a hater. It might be. I don't know. I'm not big on J.J. McCarthy. That's just, and even if he wasn't a Viking, like, I'm just not big on him. If you guys remember before the 2024 draft, we did a whole ranking and everything as well. I'll find that while Matt, talks about his takes and stuff, but I think that Sam Howell is going to start a game out of the season. That's my bold take. J.J. McCarthy will be benched at some point. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. But like for the most part, yeah, I think just the rookie woes of the season will happen. And again, like I said, like this is a really, really good division. So I don't love the schedule, to be honest. I don't love everything about it as much as I lead on as I did before. But overall, like again, if there's one team that I'm like walking in the door, like, oh man, I think I could be really wrong about this one, it's this team, just because I think the coach is really good and the defense is really good, and like Ben said, the quarterback's not going to have to do that much, but yeah.
Whoa. Well, looks like it's just the two of us here.
There goes Ryan.
Oh, dude, there's a back button on my mouse and I bumped it. I'm so sorry. That's hilarious.
Sure.
I hope you guys made some good points while I was gone for 30 seconds. Anyways, all right, cool. So, yeah, let's dive into the next team, shall we? Let's go Lions. Let's go Lions. Let's not go Lions. Boo Lions. Boo.
What? Oh, okay. I was confused by that for a minute. But yeah, the Lions. So they were 15-2. They were first in the division. They won the division title for the first time, or back to back, right? For the first time in a long time, if ever. They lost in the divisional round to Washington after being the number 1 seed, playing that awesome Week 18 game against Minnesota in which they dominated. They ran into health issues, and they ran into Jayden Daniels. So it happens. They were third in offensive EPA per play, .155. Pass block win rate was 12th. Their run block win rate was 16th. Their defensive EPA per play was 7th, negative .044. And you just think about how many things were cycling for this team throughout the season. I mean, to finish 7th in EPA per play, no wonder Aaron Glenn was one of the top coaching candidates. They were 25th in pass rush win rate and 19th in run stop win rate. And then Jared Goff, no wonder the Lions fans are chanting his name. He was 3rd in EPA per play, 1st in success rate. Just a tremendous season from him again. Their offseason was headlined, obviously, by losing their coordinator. So they hired John Morton, who is he's a longtime assistant. He was with the Raiders throughout the Gruden years, early in like the 2000s. He's kind of bounced around. Most recently, he was with Sean Payton in Denver. So think of those kind of West Coast kind of offenses. I think those concepts are what he's going to run. And it's not like too outlandish or too foreign to what Ben Johnson runs, because Ben Johnson's got some Sean Payton in him. But for the most part, nobody is Ben Johnson. He is one of the more creative minds in football. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. And then Kelvin Shepard, former player, I believe, for quite a few years. He's been under the staff. They're like listening to beat writers with Detroit is that like, yeah, when Glenn leaves to be a head coach, this is the guy. So I imagine they're not going to be any different on the defensive end. They're going to still run a lot of man coverage. They're still going to try and beat the hell out of you like the Detroit Lions do because their head coach is still Dan Campbell. So, yeah. But their main keeps was just one major, which was Kirby Joseph. They signed to an extension, 4 years, $85 million. He's under contract till 2030. He led the league in interceptions. He became a star at the safety position. Tim Patrick came back, 1 year's $2.5 million. Derek Barnes, their off-ball linebacker, who didn't play much last season, they extended him 3 years, $24 million. And then I had to mention him. Marcus Davenport, he'll never leave me. 1 year, $2.5 million at Edge 2. Yes, that's right. Marcus Davenport is the Edge 2 on this team currently. And then their free agency, they kind of just swapped out Carlton Davis for DJ Reed. Let's see if it works out. I think Carlton Davis is much better at the things that they want to do, and specifically in man coverage and putting corners on islands. But again, we'll see. Roy Lopez from the Cardinals, 1 year, $3.5 million. And then Avonte Maddox, a nickel, kind of depth nickel, but over the course of this season, he's going to be asked to play because these corners got injured a lot last season. Their draft, Tyleik Williams in the first round out of Ohio State. Tate Ratledge, they traded up 3 spots to get him, gave up a 4th-round pick to get him. They tried him out at center for training camp. I believe they have completely abandoned that project, so he's back at guard, which is what he played at Georgia exclusively. Isaac TeSlaa from Arkansas, they traded 3 first-round picks, or 3 third-round picks. Excuse me. Pick 102, 26 third, and a 27 third to get this guy. He was awesome at the Hall of Fame game. So, again, I think he matches their mold of just beat the hell out of you. And then Miles Frazier, a guard from LSU, they traded up 11 spots to get him. And then Amon Hassanin from Boise State. He was a cool story along the draft. So if you haven't read up on him, go read about him. And then their departures, I'll run through them really quick. Carlton Davis, Kevin Zeitler, Afatu Melifonwu, Levi Onwuzurike, still on the roster, but tore his ACL. Same thing with Ennis Rakestraw, their corner. He's on the roster, but I think he just had a shoulder injury, so he's on season-ending IR. So already the Lions are getting hit. And then Teddy Bridgewater, and then Za'Darius Smith, question mark. Who knows? That leads me right into my season outlook question. Can they get an edge too, man? Like this, I mean, they're
Smith.
Yeah, I mean their edge rushing tandem of Aiden Hutchinson and anybody else who is like fine would be an awesome duo just because that's how good Hutchinson is. But right now they have Davenport and Al-Qadim Muhammad, and Josh Paschal is on the injury report already. So yeah, it's interesting. I think they need to get someone with a pulse, and Za'Darius Smith is the main guy for a mercenary deal. I think it's the easiest one, but we'll see how that goes. I also they had 37 total sacks as a team last year in 5 games with Hutchinson, and he left during the Cowboys game, by the way. They had 15, and he had 7.5 by himself. That was the pace he was on, and so they had 22 in 12 games, which is under 2. With him, they had 3 a game. So just having him on the field for hopefully, he can miss a few games, 14 to 15 games instead of 5 is, I mean, it's still going to help them tremendously along the trenches. So, yeah, I'm excited to see that. And then the little pseudo question of, their offense. How much does it change? I kind of went on a tangent already about that, but how much does it change? I think their top-end talent is still really, really good, so they're still going to be a really, really good offense, but maybe they're not third. Maybe Jared Goff isn't, any efficiency metric saying, I'm the second-best quarterback or the first-best quarterback. Maybe he's 5th, and maybe the total offense is, 8th. Who knows? We'll see. But, let's get into the schedule.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're making great points. Again, take this with a grain of salt. It's training camp, whatever. But the rumor out of training camp is that it's taking a lot more time to get this offense established than what you would have thought. Now, who knows? It's still a month away from week 1. So, pretty cool to say that now. But just saying, take that with a grain of salt. This offense and this defense, I anticipate to look a little bit different. However, this roster, man, I like this one just as much as I like the Vikings one, if not maybe a little bit better, just because they have more of a stable guy, I would say, at quarterback, just for right now, because who knows what JJ McCarthy is. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this team can do just because of the amount of changes with the staff on the sideline. Ben, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, it's the low-hanging fruit, but, like, how can this team bounce back from losing both of their coordinators? I mean, we saw it 2 years ago when both the Eagles coordinators got hired away in Gannon and Steichen, and the step back that they had taken as a team. I mean, the majority of that roster was still there, and again, they still managed to take a step back. And then I would like to echo back to that report that you had said about it being, I mean, not even rough, like rocky was the word that they used, that the transition to them was a rocky transition. So it's going to just be interesting to see how much of an impact that truly has on this team.
Let's dive into it and see how much of an impact we predict it to be. With that top row, I'm going to go ahead and start us off as always. The only game that I have them losing is against Baltimore week 3. So they will beat the Packers, beat the Bears week 2, beat the Browns, beat the Bengals, and beat the Chiefs. Matt?
I have them going 3-3 in that stretch. I have them losing to Green Bay, beating the Bears, losing to the Ravens, beating the Browns, losing to the Bengals, beating the Chiefs. So they kind of just ping-pong those games up until that Buccaneers game.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my schedule is right, basically right up there with you, Matt. I have them losing to the Packers, beating the Bears, losing to the Ravens, and then winning both the Browns and Bengals, but then losing to the Chiefs, putting them at that 3-3 record.
Next row, I have them losing before the bye. I just figured it's typical football because, I mean, I don't know. The good teams always do that. They beat a good team and then they lose against a team that's like, yeah, it's competitive, but I don't know. So they'll lose against the Bucks. They'll be 4-3 going into the bye. That's wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-2. Sorry, I corrected myself here. 5-2 going into the bye. And then they will beat the Vikings, lose against the Commanders and Eagles, and then beat the Giants.
I have them at the heart of the schedule, just going on a tear, man. They're going to beat the Buccaneers. They're going to head into that bye. Pretty upset about 4-3, and then they're going to rattle off 4 straight wins the rest of this little stretch here against the Vikings, against the Commanders, against the Eagles, and then against the Giants going into Thanksgiving. 8-3. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I do have them beating the Buccaneers, putting their record into the bye at 4-3, just like Matt had. And then I have them beating both the Vikings and Commanders here, losing to the Eagles, and beating the Giants. So I have them with 4 losses headed into Thanksgiving here.
Next game, I have them beating the Packers, beating the Cowboys, beating the Rams, beating the Steelers, beating the Vikings. At this point, the division's already secured in my eyes. They'll be at 11 wins in my count. So they're going to rest their starters week 18 in preparation of their wild card round matchup. And they will lose against the Bears. I can already see it now. This press conference is going to be all Ben Johnson. Well, I wish I could have gotten that week 2 matchup back, but we'll still take a win and go 1-1 looking into next year. Matt? Oh, wait. Sorry. 12-5 for the Lions is the final. I'm sorry. Yeah. 12 wins going into 17, rest in the final.
So they're going to rest, but they still have like the 1 seed on the line?
I don't think so. I think I had somebody else at like 13. I think I had somebody else at 13 wins. So that's my prediction. I forget if it's the Eagles or who it was. It was somebody in that division. It was either the Eagles or the Commanders. But I remember 13 wins somewhere in the NFC.
Division, by the way.
Okay, so I believe it was the Eagles then, and I think I had them at 13 wins. So they were 13 before week 18. So that was why I just went ahead and predicted that they're resting the starters anyway. So They would lose the tiebreaker anyway to Philly because they lost to Philly in my prediction.
I see. I have them losing to the Packers. I have them beating the Cowboys. I have them losing to the Rams, beating the Steelers, losing to the Vikings, beating the Bears, finishing at 11-6. Once Ben finishes, I'll talk about their over/under.
Yes. I have them beating the Packers, losing to both the Cowboys and Rams, beating the Steelers, and then losing to the Vikings and Bears. It's a rough end of the schedule for them. I have them finishing at 9-8. Maybe I'm taking too much of my personal experience as an Eagles fan. But again, I really think losing these two top end coordinators is really going to play an impact on this team.
All right. So Matt was going to dive into the over/under here.
Yeah, so they're so I have them at 11. Ryan, you had them at a firm 12. Ben, what did you have them at?
9-8.
9-8.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure everybody heard that again. Their over/under is 10.5. Plus 115 on the over, minus 135 on the under. They're the favorite to win the division, plus 160. Yeah, I mean I don't see them winning 15 games again. I think that's just too crazy to think about. I'm going to pull up their schedule one more time. Just looking at, like, the NFC North really got to step up in just competition, purely, like, looking at, facing the AFC North this year and the NFC East this year. So that's just a step up, and they got to play each other, too. So I don't see them winning 11 games, but, yeah, I mean, Ben, explain your 9 wins. I'm interested.
Again, I mean, it's an automatic 4 losses.
It's scar tissue,
in my opinion, just because of it's 4 losses automatically there for me personally because of the division. I think all of the teams in this division are fairly matched outside of one of them, but I still have that team going fairly well as is. But again, yeah, I think a lot of that has to come back with personal experience when it comes to losing 2 top-end coordinators. It is really, really, really hard to turn around in a year that you just played very well and install a new obviously not a completely new offense, but install a new offense, install a new defense along, like, replacing the leadership that both of these guys have. I mean, that's one of the things that people harp so much about Aaron Glenn specifically, was the kind of leader and the kind of man that guy is. And I just think it's going to be hard to have an amazing season with both coordinators lost. That being said, 9-8 does get them as the 7th seed for the wild card. So they still are making the wild card here.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
yeah.
I think we should move on. I think now's the time. We should get it out of the way. Let's do it. Bears, baby. Bears.
We should get it out of the way. It's not the way that you want to talk about your team. But hey, it's you. I understand. I mean, there's a lot of just scar tissue with this team in general, and the excitement that the fans have put themselves through with this team. But let's go over it last year, one last time, and then we can all flush it down the toilet, right?
Thank you.
They were 5-12. They were 4th in the division. They missed the playoffs. They started 4-2, by the way. They were 26th in EPA per play on offense, negative .072. They were 15th in pass block win rate and 8th in run block win rate. They were 13th in defensive EPA per play, .002. And then 24th in pass rush win rate and 29th in run stop win rate. And then Caleb Williams, 28th in EPA per play, 30th in success rate. Just a rookie season from him. So I was interested because they, of course, fired their coordinator mid-season and then fired their coach mid-season. So I just wanted to see how their on-off numbers looked, before and after looked. With Shane Waldron from week 1 to week 10 when he was fired after the Patriots game, they had an EPA per play of negative .081, which was 25th. Dropback success rate of 41.1, which was 26th, and a rushing success rate of 37.6%, which was 24th. Without him, from weeks 11 to week 18, they were still 25th in EPA per play, but it was better, negative .062. So they were only losing that many points per play. They were 30th in dropback success rate, even though it got a little bit better, going to 41.2%. So 0.1% better in dropback success rate. And then their rushing success rate got a little bit better, 39.2%. Then over to the defense. This is where it got spooky. With Eberflus, they were 9th in EPA per play. They were really good with him. They were 10th in dropback success rate and 18th in rushing success rate. Without him, 27th in EPA per play, which this was week 14 to week 18. They were already out of the hunt. They could have quit on the season. It is what it is. But just looking at the numbers, not sexy numbers. They were 27th in EPA per play, as I mentioned, 26th in dropback success rate, and 29th in rushing success rate. So, yeah, those are the numbers with and without those guys. And there was a lot of listen, the guys needed to go when they went. So I'm not sitting here saying, you know what, we should have kept those guys. But it's just interesting to look back at a season that had a lot of promise. So from the outside looking in. They have a new head coach, Ben Johnson. They have a new offensive coordinator, Declan Doyle, who I believe is a 29-year-old whiz kid. And then Dennis Allen, who I know a ton of as their new defensive coordinator. They kept just 2 major extensions. Kyler Gordon, their nickel, 3 years, $40 million. He's under contract till 2029. TJ Edwards is an extension, 2 years, $20 million. He's under contract till 2028. And then I had to throw in their fullback, Doug Kramer, for a little $1 million vet minimum. The additions, of course, let's start with the trades. They traded for Joe Thuney. They traded a 2026 fourth and gave him an extension, and then traded for Jonah Jackson. They traded a 2025 sixth and gave him an extension. Didn't like that one as much as the Thuney one, but hey, if he's good this year, then you would want to have that extension. I get it. But I was kind of under the impression of hey, what if it's like a train wreck like it was with the Rams? You could just get out of him. But it is what it is. That's the decision they make. They want the veteran, and it's just, it's taking a gamble on a guy that has had success with Ben Johnson before. Their free agency, I'm going to talk about Drew Dahlman first, just to continue on the interior offensive line. 3 years, $42 million, and then Dio Adingbo, 3 years, $48 million from the Colts, and then Grady Jarrett, 3 years, $42 million. Did not love that one, but they needed interior defensive line help. They needed someone to kind of rush the passer from that spot, so I get it. Their draft, Colston Loveland at the 10th overall pick, tight end out of Michigan. Luther Burden in the second round out of Mizzou. They traded down out of 41 to get 2 round 2 picks at the end of the round with the Bills, I believe. And then Ozzie Trapillo, who's competing for the tackle spot with Braxton Jones. I was surprised by that one. And then Shamar Turner out of Texas A&M in round 2. And then their departures, Keenan Allen, Coleman Shelton, DeMarcus Walker, Tevin Jenkins, and Matt Pryor. So completely overhauled the interior offensive line, got some more little pass-catching weapons here and there, and then got Dennis Allen some actual defensive linemen who can play. Their season outlook question, can the offense / the quarterback just be better than what last year was? That's all I'm asking. Not asking for a lot. Much like the Patriots, this is a pretty 2024 draft pick centric. This is by any metric, Caleb Williams was bad after an offseason of expectation where it was remember the whole Get Up segment? Welcome to Get Up. Is this the best situation a number 1 pick has ever had? And then you had to talk about it for 5 minutes about how awesome it was, and you had to hype up 30-year-old Keenan Allen as an asset. That was a thing we had to do last year. And yeah, I think expectation on a rookie is never a business I want to certainly buy into fully. You could say oh, Matt, you have the Titans winning a lot of games. Aren't you doing the same thing? No, because I'm kind of just looking at the upside of the possibility more so than, the downside. If Cam Ward is a rookie, then yeah, he's a rookie. But also what he could do in their situation is much more sustainable, I believe, than what Caleb was walking into last year. I think we really spent a lot of time on what the receivers could be, and I think we really looked at Rome Odunze as more of a finished product than he actually is, where the Titans kind of like just went full heads deep on veteran offensive linemen who can play. And I know Ben doesn't like Dan Moore, but they can play. The root of this question is, if you want, like, it's just like the Patriots question. It's the exact same. Like, can the quarterback be good? I mean, that's it. That's all I'm at. Like, that's all you want to know out of the 2025 season is if the quarterback is good. And that doesn't matter if they're winning 6 games or winning 8 games or making a playoff. Like, it's, can you puff your chest out and say, hey, like, we have the guy, and now we can push the chips in the middle of the table for the last 2 to 3 years of his rookie contract to really put some pressure on the NFC conference. We're going to see. And I think that's all it comes down to. Talk about your quarterback, Ryan. Talk about where your headspace is.
Listen, anybody that plays the position of quarterback and starts for my team, I will rally behind. It's something that you guys have seen, let's see, twice now, because at this point, we've made it through the Justin Fields years, and now we're into the Caleb Williams years on this podcast. It's crazy to say we've been doing it for that long, but, you know, and before then, I mean, heck, Ben, I think you and I were friends way back when Mitch Trubisky was still the quarterback for the Bears.
And Nick Foles.
And Nick Foles and, you know, all of that. So, I mean, you know, Ben knows better than anybody as far as the things that I've been through and the people that I've gone to war for. So when it comes to this quarterback, it's no different. And to me, it really sucks to see the negative publicity this guy gets right now because of how much hype he got going into last season as this guy that's going to be the savior of the Bears. And, you know, he's an absolute, like like a must-take prospect. Like, this is a guy you cannot miss on. It's never been so easy for the Bears to just push the button on. This is the guy that's the surefire number 1 pick, no matter who takes him, if it's the Commanders that trade up or who it is. I'm purely under the impression that if the Bears would have gotten Jaden Daniels instead of Caleb Williams and, you know, Washington picked up Williams, I'm purely of the belief that the roles would have just switched. Caleb would have been just fine, and Jaden Daniels would have suffered, and everybody's saying, oh no, the sky's falling. It's just the Bears. Their Bears are doing Bears things. The cool thing about this offseason, and, you know, I think I noted it when the news had broken, is that they extended Ryan Poles, and when they signed Ben Johnson, they got him through 2029. So now they have both guys, and my biggest complaint over the last couple of years is that my quarterback, my GM, and my head coach are not linked up together. So we're on this never-ending carousel of morons that keep taking 3 of the most important positions in a franchise, the quarterback, the head coach, and the GM. So without all of them being on the same page, we cannot be a competent franchise. If this doesn't work out, I'm excited for what's next. But I entirely think that it's way too early to make the assumption that Caleb is not the guy. It is still time for, you know, it's not even time for put up or shut up yet. It's time to see what happens in the first year of a head coach that's offensive minded, that has the skills of a play caller to work towards the quarterback's, you know, skills. I'm excited to see what's next. And here's the thing about this specific schedule prediction that I kind of want to handle different than any other team that we've done this season. I want Ben and Matt to go first. I'm making the executive decision to go last and not reveal my schedule prediction on anything. I want you guys to completely do yours. Reason why? I hate mine. I hate it. I hate it with a burning passion. I don't like the record that I ended with. And that's okay. It's not a bad record. It's just I don't believe in it. And it's not a grand finale. Oh, mine's the best. You guys are going to be crazy. There's shock value, whatever. I just don't like it. So that's what it comes down. When it comes to rookies, I'm ecstatic about Colson Loveland right now. From what I've seen on anything training camp, the dude's fast and he's huge. And you know, he's a great route runner. He's a Michigan guy, and I hate saying that he's cool and good at football or whatever, but like, hey, he's a Bear now, so I can root for him. I'm putting massive stock into Rome Odunze this season. As you can see, here's the jersey. I've got several autograph cards, and I almost bought a helmet with his autograph on it as well. The guy is like I probably support Rome Odunze more than I do Caleb Williams right now with the amount of merchandise I have of him. Look at him. He's on my wall. I've been a fan of this guy since we went to the Combine a couple of years ago, and I saw him, you guys remember this when he did, different drills on the sidelines and everything. And I'm like, listen, this dude is grinding until he gets the score that he wants. That is the kind of guy that I want on my team. And it seems like he's a great guy too. When I'm hearing to, training camps and, he's signing everything that everybody gives him, and he's a good guy. I don't know. It's the kind of guy that you want on your team, and he's shown a lot of promise. I'm ecstatic about it. I'm ready. I think that the additions, given their crappy contracts, like Jonah Jackson, for example, I'm kind of like, this dude better work out. That's my take on him. Grady Jarrett, though, I'm really excited to see what he does. I don't care if he's an aging guy. He brings veteran leadership to the room, and a guy like Gervon Dexter needs something like that. Take the pressure off him a little bit. It's an upgrade over Andrew Billings, in my opinion. So with that being said, Tyreek Stevenson, stop paying attention to the fans. Be the all-pro that I think you're destined to be. And if not, get off my football team. That's the put up or shut up question that I have this year. Can we get rid of this guy? If not, that's it. Other than that, like the rest, that's cool. Brisker, maybe stay healthy this year. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. I don't know. I'm done on my tangent for now, at least. But Ben, any questions, or not questions, but comments or anything, I guess, going into the schedule prediction?
I'm going to continue picking at the low fruit, just like I did there with the Lions. Really, I think so much of it comes down to the offensive line. Can this offensive line not play like a bottom 30 offensive line? Can we at least get them into the 20s, if not higher? And if you can do that, then I think a lot more can figure it out. You can start seeing more success in the run game. Obviously, you'll start seeing more success in the pass game. Ben Johnson, your head coach, is coming from a team that had one of the best offensive lines in the entire league. So it'll be interesting. But again, I think a lot of it does hinge on that offensive line play. That being said, I do think you guys improved greatly, and you guys took a very big leap in that position group. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out this year.
The last thing that I want to do, shameless plug, guys, my most excited thing that, exciting, I guess. Most exciting thing that we're doing, in my opinion, this offseason for me and all the Bears fans watching. I remember posting this on the Bears community. So if you guys are from the Bears community, hey, shout out to you guys. I appreciate that on Twitter. But we're going to be posting a Caleb Williams, film review here soon. We're hopefully going to be recording it here shortly, not tonight by any means, but we will be doing that soon. So be on the lookout for that. These guys are going to be doing it with me, and that's what I'm most excited about because they're going to keep me honest. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, and that's part of the reason why I'm having them do theirs first. So without further ado, gentlemen, please take it away so I can write down your guys' records and tell myself how wrong I am about this team.
Yeah, I have them starting 0-2 in the division, and then winning the next two going into the bye, beating the Cowboys and beating the Raiders, coming out of the bye on Monday Night Football and losing to the Commanders.
Let me just say one last thing. Week 5 bye week, that sucks. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. That does suck for a new head coach.
Yeah.
Eagles had a week 5 bye week.
We
turned
know.
around the season, and look at them. Look at him.
Yeah. Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
Woo.
Totally missed going.
I have the same record over these first 5/6 weeks, however you want to say it, that you do, Matt. But we got there different ways. I have them beating the Vikings and then losing the next two against the Lions and Cowboys, and then beating the Raiders, going into the bye 2-2. but then losing to the Commanders.
You have us losing to Eberflus, dude. I thought you were like my best friends, man. Come on.
Yeah, and then
I'm gonna react. I'm sorry.
I have them losing to the Saints because I'm a troll. I have them losing to the Ravens. I have them beating Cincinnati, beating New York, and then losing to Minnesota and losing to Pittsburgh. So, yes, I do have them getting swept by Minnesota this year. I think Brian Flores is a demon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he still owns us. Yeah. Thanks, Aaron. Don't want to live in your world, Matt. That sucks. Anyways, go ahead, Ben.
I have them picking up the victory against the Saints here. I do have them losing to the Ravens, and I do apologize, Ryan. I mean, it's a question that you had asked me kind of in the load-in. I do have you guys losing against the Bengals. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, they're
like 41 to like 38. So
okay. Yeah, an absolute
shootout. It's a fun game.
An absolute shootout for sure.
As long as it's fun to watch, yeah.
And then I have you guys beating the Giants and then losing to the Vikings.
What about the Steelers?
And then beating the Steelers.
I love you. That's awesome.
You finally get your go away against against Aaron Rodgers. You finally
sit down, old man.
We own you.
Dude, I want to go to that game so bad. All right, go ahead, Matt.
I then have them losing on Black Friday to the Eagles, losing on the road in Lambeau to the Packers, and then winning the next 3. So I have them beating the Browns, beating the Packers at home, and then beating the Niners, and then losing to the Lions, finishing at a solid 7-10. We'll talk about the over/under once Ben is done.
Hey,
yes,
Matt, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Same. I have the same as you there, Matt. Same exact. I made a quick change on the fly when I was looking over the schedule, and I thought about it more. I do have you guys actually getting swept by the Lions. That actually bumps the Lions record up to 10-7. So we're right there at the line that Vegas has the Lions. But yeah, again, losing to both the Eagles and Packers, picking up those next 3 wins against the Browns, Packers, and Niners, and then losing against the Lions. The more I had thought about it, I mean, the Lions' playoff dreams are going to be on the line at that point, and there's no way that Dan Campbell and the Lions are going to lose that game. But I actually have them 1 game higher than what Matt does. I have them at 8-9. And that 1 game, I think, going through it, is that Saints game.
We had a few flipped. You had Pittsburgh, we
had a few flipped, but the Saints game is the one that stands out to me. But an 8-9, I mean, it's not above 500, but it's a year that you get to build towards. You get to be happy. Hey, look at us.
And that makes sense with the over/under. I mean, the over/under is pretty much a pick 'em. -120 to the over, +100 even money to the under. So like, someone is saying 8, the other saying 7. It's at 7.5. So take that how you may. We see this pretty similar to the books.
Let me just say this before I get started with mine. Okay, I would be so happy with like an 8-9, 9-8 record. Okay, that's the number I was shooting for. I remember talking to you guys, maybe even behind the curtain, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna be realistic with it this year. I have a set number in which I did not meet with this schedule prediction.
So glad you didn't.
So the number that I originally had in mind was 8-9. That was the number that I had put into my brain. Without looking at any over-unders or anything like that, I think when I told you guys this, it was right after free agency. And I was like, I'm looking at this. This is what I'm seeing. I'm cool with that. However, I did not meet that. Here we go. I'm going to be giving more of an in-depth thing because it's my team and I love them so much. So Vikings, I have them beating the Vikings week 1. The reason why is just because they're going to take advantage of J.J. McCarthy's first career start. That's really it. That's all I got to say there. They're going to lose against Detroit. We talked about that a little bit. Ben Johnson's going to wish he had that one back. However, I do think it's going to be closer than what people think. They're going to beat the Cowboys. This is going to be a personal matchup. They really want to beat Eberflus. I think everybody knows that. I don't think this next one's going to be close. They're going to beat the brakes off of Vegas. That's it. So 3-1 going into the bye. Then they're going to lose to Washington. That one's going to kill me. And this is really what starts the, make or break kind of season, for me, right? How do you respond to that? Because this is a get back game. You took them to a Hail Mary throw last year. You think you're a better team and you end up losing. So how do you respond? Well, luckily you have a team like the Saints that you can win and rebound off of at noon on a Sunday. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to win that game. Against Baltimore, I'm sorry, Bears fans. We just don't stand a chance against this team. It's clear cut. I do not like the Bengals defense, and I think that Ben Johnson is going to carve them apart. It's going to be fun. Like you said, I think that it could be a shootout. Who knows? However, in previous matchups, the Bears have been fine against the Bengals, and I'm still going to take the Bears here. Next matchup against the Giants, they will also win that one. They will lose against the Vikings. I assume J.J. McCarthy is either okay here or Sam Howell's going to play and whatever, but we're splitting with the Vikings. With that being said, they're going to beat the Steelers. That one is just going to be a fun one. I wish that one was prime time. I'll be completely honest with you. That would be awesome. They're going to lose to the Eagles here. As much as I would love for them to beat the Eagles, they just don't stand a chance on this one. But however, Ben, I hope we get the chance to watch that game together just as much as I hope we get the chance to watch for the Saints, Matt. I have them, let's see, week 14, I believe. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Hold on, wait a minute. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So okay. Week 14 against the Packers, I have them losing. The reason why is because the whole undefeated at Lambeau bit is not going to be very long-lived, and it's going to kill me. It sucks. I don't get to hold that over Packers fans' heads. It's just a Bears thing. That's what they're going to do. They make me sad. And then they're going to win out. They're going to beat the Browns. They're going to beat the Packers. They're going to beat the Niners. I believe that the Niners have a relatively easy schedule. And at this point in time as well, I think they're just going to run into a team that's getting hot towards the end of it. And then they're going to beat the Lions. So my win total, 11-6. Don't like that. I feel like that's way too high. I feel like I'm setting myself up for disappointment. That's not where I'm personally mentally at. I genuinely feel like this is and I mean, I could be convinced at 7-10. That's fine. That's an increase in wins overall for this team. I would say, ironically, as much as I love this team, I'm not as passionate about my confidence, I guess. I'm not as confident in my record prediction.
Oh, we can tell.
As much as I am this next one. Why don't we go and dive into
11. Well, let's not gloss over 11-6.
No.
Stop it.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
6-1 in the division, buddy.
Yeah.
So okay. You want me to explain? I can explain a little bit. Okay, that's fine.
Well, to be frank, so again, a little peek behind the curtain. I mean, Ryan had said it. Like he had went in.
That, Ben? He tried to swing that by. He said, "Let's go to the next one.
Let's move on.
Let's just not talk about any of that."
No, but I mean, a peek behind the curtain. I mean, like 2 weeks ago now, Ryan was like, "Well, I have an idea of what I want the Bears at, like in terms of record prediction, and then I'll build my schedule around that." And me and Matt were like, "No, don't do that. That's an awful idea." And somehow you didn't do that, and it's worse. I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but
dude,
that's extreme confidence.
Would you have them going in the division?
Division?
You just have them split all of them?
Let's see. I split against the Lions, split against the Vikings, split against the Packers. Yeah, split division. Yeah. So let me back this up just a little bit.
Losing 2 outside games. That is.
Let me back this up a little bit.
Sure. But hold on. I I love you, but I still can't get over the 11. I mean, at the end of the day, it is your job as a fan to get excited and have high expectations for this team. But for the Bears to go 11-6, you would be seeing a crazy jump from a lot of things from this football team that is just unprecedented at this point. I mean, it's not out of
unprecedented. That's not. I mean, the Commanders won 12. The Commanders won 12 games a year ago. So like,
again,
it's not.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Again, it's not out of the realm
game of parity.
It is not out of the realm of possibility for it to happen, but for this to be the team that we expect all of this to happen, I think is it's Bears optimism.
Hold on a minute.
Love their Bears, and I'll leave.
Hold on a minute. I cannot stress this enough. I don't like it. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's just the number that
Damn it, why'd you flip like 2 games?
Exactly.
Let me tell you, if I were to like,
you can't change it now. All right,
no, I can't. I
now.
can't. I just want to go over the games that I was kind of back and forth on at least a little bit, right? So that being said, Vikings. That one has been commonly predicted as a win by Bears fans all over, and even some, ESPN guys and stuff like that, right? My biggest thing is I'm setting myself up for failure there too. I think that this is such an easy win, quote unquote, because this is a rookie quarterback that's going into it that, according to trading camp stuff, they're like he's not looking all that great. And then it's like, who cares? It's training camp. Like, who knows? I could very much be setting myself up for disappointment, and it's very much a Bears thing to do, to just be like, hey, guess what? Not only are we not going to debut our season on Thursday Night Football, not only are we not going to play in the Brazil game either, we're not going to play on Sunday, but we're going to make you wait until Monday to watch your dreams get crushed and start 0-1, right? And then not only that, right, but I have them losing against the Lions when just a year ago, right? I think with the right coaching staff, without a moron in charge of the timeouts, we win that game on Thanksgiving. I genuinely think that. The Vikings are honestly a toss-up to me. That's a really good roster. The only uncertainty that I have with that entire team is just the quarterback, right? But as far as like being competitive, and I know, like, listen, I get it. Arizona, we got curb stomped 29-9 last season. New England, that was the most hideous game that I watched, if not like one of them last year. That
was like the lock of your life last year.
Like that was disgusting. And then like Minnesota, right? You look at that one. That one wasn't a close game, despite the fact they still went to overtime in it. And that's why I have a little bit of hope, is because there was still fight in this team. They went to Detroit on Thanksgiving and lost by 3 points. They were a field goal away from overtime, and we just couldn't kick it because our coach doesn't like timeouts. San Francisco curb stomped us. That wasn't cool. But like what I'm saying is, overall, right? We were a tipped field goal. We were a bad timeout, no call, and an overtime possession away from becoming positive record in the division last year, right? And with that being said, I mean, I think that there's more stock in this team, considering the fact that we're a better roster now. I'm saying we, like I'm on the team. So those of you that say that, screw you. I've endured this pain. I'm part of it. But anyways, listen, yes, I'm optimistic. I'd like to make the playoffs. My honest to God, like, mentality going into this. And I can't stress this enough. I spoke on it at work, and I'm like, I don't like it. This is what I have them. And I'm talking on paper, which is the fun of the schedule prediction in general. I'm pitting my team against the other ones. I don't like Dallas this year. I don't like Vegas. Washington, they got better this offseason, and I hate to admit it because of that Hail Mary. If that Hail Mary never happened and we lost that game, I'd probably love to watch Jaden Daniels play football. But because he hit that Hail Mary, because Tyreek Stevenson sucks at being focused, I don't like Washington anymore. There's a bit of a rivalry there. You've got New Orleans, which I'm fairly confident we should win that game, but who knows? It's the Bears. We've got Baltimore, which we should probably lose against. Cincinnati, which, hey, according to everybody ever, it's like that's a toss-up game. To me, that defense is awful, so I don't care. Giants, we might screw around. Hey, what happens if the Bears win against the Ravens and Bengals, and they're like, screw it, we're just going to lose against the Giants? This is the unpredictability.
Did you just ask me what if football happens?
Exactly. So my thing is like, guys, like, it doesn't, like, for me to sit here and be like, this is who I have, I just like my team better than theirs. And that's what it boiled down to when it comes to doing the prediction. To this very moment, right? Before, not last night, but maybe the night before when I was prepping, before I was doing this, I had never gone game by game for this Bears team with the schedule being out. I looked at it and I'm like, wow, that's a tough schedule, right?
Yeah. What did I tell you? That is what schedule release is. Everybody leaves in May with their schedule release. Like, yeah, I mean, 10, 11
double-digit wins. Yeah,
yeah. Like
so,
time.
You know, let me just say this to end it off because I'm going on a tangent.
Also, fans win every toss-up game. By the way, you like the Vikings game toss-up. We win that. Pittsburgh toss-up. We win that one. The Lions are going to be resting their starters to win that one. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We still have one team to get to, so I'll just leave it at this.
I'm so happy we did this.
When it comes to my hopes, fingers crossed for this Bears team, we could miss the playoffs, and I'd still be happy if this happens. 8-9, Caleb throws for 4,000, Rome 1,000, and a decent defense. I don't feel like that's out of the realm of possibility. Like, what did you say the over-under was? 7.5?
Yeah.
So if the over-under's at 7.5 and they just get over that at 8 wins, and Caleb throws for a little less than 500 more yards than he did last season, and Rome looks good, and the defense is okay, and we are competitive, and it's fun to watch Bears football, who cares, dude? I'm having fun. That's all that matters. So, I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, I'm so passionate about this next team. Begging you to get into it. Matt, please tell us about the Packers.
All right, guys. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers, the final team. If you're watching this on YouTube as a standalone video, thank you. You can go watch all the other videos. You can go watch every team. If there's a team you missed, you go watch that. So, this is 2.5 months, guys. I'm kind of soaking it in here. This is 2.5 months of us doing this, so this has been fun. But let's get on with the Packers. Enough with this sappy stuff. They were 11-6 last year. They were third in the division. They lost in the wild card to Philadelphia. They were 8th in offensive EPA per play, .081. They were 7th in pass block win rate. They were 23rd in run block win rate. They were 4th in defensive EPA per play. I don't want to say stunned by that, but their second half was really, really good on the defensive end. Negative .066. Their pass rush win rate was 26th, and their run stop win rate was 33% at 6th. Jordan Love last year, top 10 in EPA per play again, .192. He was 9th, and then a 49.1 success rate at 15th in the league of guys with 300 or more passing snaps. And also, I just wanted to mention, so he had that injury in week 1 where it was like, oh my God, did he just tear his ACL on this Brazil field? No, he was fine, but then he had that weird Vikings game. So week 5 on, after the week 4 Minnesota game, he was 6th in EPA per play and 12th in success rate. So I just wanted to kind of lob that in there. This was a much better quarterback than he let on the first 2 weeks. I think he was really still banged up at that time. But I digress. Into the offseason, their major keeps. Zach Tom very recently, 4 years, $88 million extension. He's under contract till 2030. Isaiah McDuffie, an off-ball linebacker, came back for 2 years, $8 million. And then shout out to a phenom, Bo Melton, 1 year for the veteran minimum. He's going to be playing both ways, by the way. So get ready to learn Bo Melton's name. And then we get into free agency. They made 2 swings, and that was it. They swung on Aaron Banks, a guard from the Niners, 4 years, $77 million, and Nate Hobbs with the Raiders, 4 years, $48 million. I also want to mention these guys specifically. Nate Hobbs only has $16 million guaranteed. Aaron Banks has a little bit more, per his, overall 77. I think it was 36. But both of these guys, Nate Hobbs specifically, after 1 year could be cut, and they don't have that much dead money spread out. Aaron Banks, he's likely going to be on the roster for this year and next year. But it was very fascinating the way these Like, it comes out to be like, oh, $19 million annually for Aaron Banks is crazy. It's kind of a 2-year contract, and it's kind of the window they're on. And once that, Jordan Love contract really, really kicks in, that's when they can kind of cut him. Just wanted to throw that in there. And then also free agency, shout out Isaiah Simmons. Their draft, pretty awesome. Green and Golden in the first round. Matthew Golden out of Texas, Hook'em Horns. Anthony Belton out of NC State. Look at that. Shout out the Packers. Bo Melton, Isaiah Simmons, and then those two guys. And then Savion Williams, who's kind of he's listed as a receiver. He's not a receiver. He's kind of an everyman. I wanted him to go to one of these teams with these like guru offensive play callers like LaFleur is. So he's going to be entertaining to watch where he's just lined up this year. And then their departures. Main one was Jair Alexander, their longtime corner. TJ Slayton, interior defensive lineman. Josh Myers, their center, who is probably their worst part of their offensive line. They're going to slide Elgin Jenkins over to center. Banks is going to slide into left guard. The right side is going to be untouched, which is Sean Ryan and Zach Tom. And then left tackle's up for grabs between a 7th-round player and Rasheed Walker, who's kind of been like mid there, and a 1st-round player a year ago in Jordan Morgan. So if Jordan Morgan can't win that battle, Jordan Morgan. But yeah, and then also Eric Stokes. My season outlook question for them kind of was just a take. I just wanted to have a take with this team. Could this offense be like the best in football this year? That'd be pretty cool. Like, I think everything is lining up for this team to be pretty awesome on the offensive end. 2023, so this is since Jordan Love came in. By the way, Jordan Love only played 33 games. Like, that was kind of one of those things like, whoa. Like, it feels like he's been around forever. But since he came into the league and started games, 2023, 0.075 EPA per play last year, which was 5th. He was 8th in success rate, 45.1%. And then 2024, he actually got better in EPA per play, 0.081, but he was 8th, and the success rate was down 44.8%. Both years, they've been top 5 in explosive play rate, so that's rushes of 10-plus yards and passes of 20-plus yards. They have just depth everywhere, man. And it's mixed with the high-end talent now, dropping in Golden here. I don't expect anything out of Christian Watson. I think that's one where drafting Golden kind of tells you the writing on the wall with Christian Watson, who tore his ACL in that last game against Chicago. They have an offense, like a very balanced offense with Josh Jacobs, who had a pretty good year, but not like an amazing year last season. He could have been more explosive, but he converted touchdowns was the main thing. They have an offensive guru in Matt LaFleur. And I also think the quarterback could still get better. Like, I still think there is a level he could go up because, like I said, he's only played 33 games. So see if that happens. And you think about the top 3 offenses, Baltimore, who is their Lamar and friends, the Bills, who are kind of Josh Allen and friends, and then the Lions, who are Jared Goff, who's a pretty good but limited quarterback, and everybody else around him kind of brings him up. Doesn't that remind you of what the Packers could be? So, yeah, I think this is something I kind of want to just throw this one out there. Kind of tells you where I think they're going to go this year.
I don't like them.
That is lofty expectations for a team that does not have a solidified wide receiver 1, but I like where your head's at.
They took a guy in the first round, and Jaden Reed is awesome, dude.
Hey, not to mention,
Jaden Reed is awesome, but what did we say even when scouting Matthew Golden? That he probably isn't a wide receiver 1, but a very good complementary wide receiver 2. It just comes back, my concern is them not having that, elite alpha dog wide receiver 1. But who knows?
Who that reminds me of?
Matthew Golden could turn
Baltimore, Buffalo.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying. So I mean, they could, it could happen, but
you mean
really
2 teams with MVP candidates on their team? That's insane, dude. That's crazy.
Really,
could they be that? No, it's Jordan Love. Are we serious? Come on, dude.
Okay,
no,
you're not getting. I think you get blinded by the Jordan Love hate and by the green and gold too much. First off, but my main concern with Matthew Golden is the number. Get this man a different jersey, please. There's no way he's going to be Shaheed in a number like that.
Rashid Shaheed is GOAT, dude. All right, settle down.
All right. Let's dive into it. God, dude, I really hate this team. Okay. Two losses to start the season here. Loss against the Lions, loss against the Commanders. They will beat the Browns, they will beat the Cowboys, and then into the bye week they'll be 2-2, and then they will beat the Bengals to round out that first row here.
5-0 next.
Oh.
Wow. I have them beating the Lions, losing to the Commanders, beating both the Browns and the Cowboys. So I have them 4-1 headed into the bye. And then I do have them losing against the Bengals. Again, we voice our concerns about the Bengals defense, but I also have my fair share of concerns about this, pass defense for the Packers here. And I really think like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are going to have like a buck a piece with each other, maybe $1.50 for Jamar Chase out of this game, because the cornerback depth on this team is just so god awful. But yeah, I have them 3-2 in the first 6.
Speak of that pass D, hey Packers fans, can we like finally agree that Jair Alexander's a bum? Can we just like come together on that?
Stop it. He was good. He just wasn't. He couldn't stay healthy. Stop.
He's a moron, and I hate him. Okay, Cardinals. Packers will win that game. Then Aaron will beat the Packers here. Then they'll beat the Panthers. Eagles will beat the Packers. Let's see. Where am I at? They will beat the Giants, lose to the Vikings.
Yeah, I have them losing to the Cardinals here. I have them beating then the Pittsburgh Steelers, the fighting Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football, and the Panthers. And then they're going to lose these next 3. They're going to lose on Monday Night Football to the Eagles, lose to the Giants, and then lose at home to the Vikings going into Thanksgiving.
Week 11 hate watch is going to be awesome, dude. I can't stress that enough, dude. Who do the Bears play week 11? I'm about to not watch that game. Are you serious?
I have them winning every single game in this stretch outside of the Eagles. So they're going to win against the Cardinals, Steelers, Panthers, pick up that loss to the Eagles, and then beat the Giants and Vikings here.
And then to round off my schedule prediction, my last one of 2025, I have them losing to the Lions, beating the Bears, and then losing out, baby. Come on. They're going to lose to the Broncos, lose to the Bears, lose to the Ravens, and lose to the Vikings, because screw you. That's why. 7-10, Packers. How's the bottom of the division feel? Oh, wait, let me tell you. Not good. Not good. Yeah, it doesn't feel good at all. Matt,
I would just like to reiterate this really quickly. Ryan has the Packers going 7-10. And he has the Bears going 11-6. Just wanted to reiterate
screw you.
That.
That's why.
I just wanted
you. That's
to reiterate that to everyone listening.
Yeah, I mean, like the backwards jersey is insane. But what's he? Oh, who's that signed by?
Yeah. Who signed on it?
Don't worry about it.
Jets phenom.
Jets. It's Steelers phenom as well.
But I'm gonna round it out. I have them beating Detroit on Thanksgiving, so sweeping Detroit, by the way. I have them beating the Bears, losing to Denver, and then losing to the Bears in Soldier Field. And then I have them picking up 2 more wins against Baltimore and Minnesota, finishing 11-6, the same record as Detroit, but having the tiebreaker. They're going to be my division winner. So at 11-6.
This is a great picture here, by the way. I just want to, just really quickly for our audio listeners or for our video listeners. Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to do. No, I have them losing against the Lions here, winning against the Bears and Broncos, and then losing these last 3 games of the season to the Bears, Ravens, and Vikings. And despite that kind of rough end of the season, I do have them finishing out at a healthy 10-7. Again, still within that competition.
What'd you have the Vikings at?
11-6.
So you had the Vikings winning the division.
Yes, I have the Vikings winning the division at 11-6.
I have not seen this.
Yeah,
I love this.
I have the Vikings winning the division at 11-6, and then I have the Packers and the Packers and Lions both at 10-7 apiece, but that technically the tiebreaker goes to the Lions because of common opponents. So it'll go to the Lions. But I mean, this is again a very, very good division. If you have a team going 11-6 and then 2 10-8s, or 10-7s, so really good. I think me and you were the deciding factor is probably Jordan Love.
Who'd you have winning that last game? So you had Vikings winning that last game?
Mm-hmm.
So that's for the division.
Yep.
I like that. I like this division being decided on the last day of
the last game of the season.
I
right?
love it.
No, I think it's absolutely fantastic. But again, I really think that deciding factor between us and that separation with Ryan is the Jordan Love. I think we actually think Jordan Love is a more than competent and actually a pretty good NFL quarterback.
And I think
Ryan
he's a
really
bum.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it with your chest on that quarterback video. Go watch it. By the way, that was in May. But like you said it with your chest that like you think Caleb's better. So like that's.
I do. I genuinely.
I know you do.
I genuinely do.
I
do. Caleb's a better quarterback now, dude. Right now, he is.
So I like to victory lap Jordan Love because I loved him coming out of college. I really do.
I thought it was funny.
Did you think the waiting 3 years would pay off for Jordan Love?
I was worried about that. I was pretty heartbroken when that was the team he went to. But like I loved him coming out of Utah State. Like I was pumped for it. And Matt can vouch. I really loved this kid coming out of Utah State.
Yeah, I remember when what was it? That McAfee night. But yeah, okay, let's get back to the Packers, like specifically. So you talked about their pass defense and their corners. I had the same like issue, kind of, but then realized like this is pretty much the same corner group as last year. And it was really good. And now you're just taking out, like you said, Jair Alexander, who's always hurt, for Nate Hobbs, who can play, who's got some bones both in the nickel game and the corner game. They have so many young pieces. Like if a few of these guys hit, I think Edgerrin Cooper's already like a second contract guy.
Edge Cooper's gonna be a star.
And you're throwing like Bullard's gonna play nickel. Evan Williams has been a fun safety for them, and then who was the Oladapo, who's another like depth safety. I remember scouting him out of Oregon State. I liked him. But it's so young on the back end that I'm like, you know what? It was pretty good last year. They're only going to get better. And so, like, I think I'm... Yeah, you go.
Is that not what... But have we not, like, prior and previously on the podcast had talked about, like, cornerback play is one of the most fickle things in all of football?
Oh, yeah.
Like and that goes both ways. That could absolutely go both ways. I mean... They could have stars that came out of nowhere, but vice versa with that.
I'm banking on just everybody tough. In the defense being a little bit... Like, they were still fourth, and, like, it was the worst pressure season for Rashawn Gary in years. So, like, again, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on this football team specifically. Like, I think 11 is my low end. I probably was like, you know what? I don't want to have them win the most games in the conference because I'm not ready to stand on that table. That's too scary. That's too high up. But overall, like, I'm willing to put this team in the top of the division, in a good division, and say, like, yeah, I think this offense is going to be pretty damn good because it already has an ascension of being pretty damn good already, and it got even better. So I'm excited for this.
Goes back to the value of having a good elite play caller. It really does. But sorry.
What's crazy is that they were a tipped field goal away from being 0-6 in the division last year, and people are still hyping up this team as if they're something special. Y'all about to get a wake up call, man.
They had gotten.
No, Ben, you don't understand what he's doing. Like
Mm-mm.
Cairo Santos had to hit a 50-yard field goal for you to
And he
be
would've.
0-6 in the division.
But yeah, exactly.
Hey,
I
shut
don't know.
your
Again,
dirty
it
mouth.
comes
We won the
back-
Super Bowl, basically.
It comes back to
Clip that one. Clip that one,
comes,
guys.
comes back to
That's insane.
you being a
I needed that
Chicago
so
fan,
bad.
You did.
I'm listening,
you being
Ben. I'm
a
so sorry.
Chicago fan and really leaning on the Chicago fan side for both of it, for both your Bears, and then also just absolutely hating anything that the green and gold does.
Dude, legitimately anything in Milwaukee. I
Blind
despise,
tribalistic
man.
fandom. What's better?
It really sucks because Wisconsin's a beautiful state until you get to Green Bay. Anyways.
Till you get to Green Bay, it's like 5 miles.
What is
There's
there?
nothing in Green Bay.
It's so gross, dude. Look at these colors, man. They're disgusting.
Well,
until
and
you're
that's
like
the thing. I don't know
until you're
when they're gonna
Oregon, and then it works. But
And I don't know when they're going to
Shut
be
your dirty
wearing
mouth.
those jerseys, but when they wear those throwback jerseys, they will lose that game. Yep. I don't care.
I
I
hope they
know,
do.
Ben. Oh my god.
They could be against the Browns. They're going to lose that game whenever they put on those ugly jerseys, man. Awful.
They're wearing them at
awful stuff.
home against the Eagles.
Oh, well, there you go. Even better.
That was completely
better.
fake. I made that up. So I don't know.
Well, there you go.
I
don't know.
I lied for clout. How's it feel?
Anything? Is there anything else with the Packers really quickly? Because there's like some kind of news that I do want to talk.
No,
about.
I again,
wait,
I'm high on the Packers. We'll see how they do. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, go watch the Bears one of Ryan. So that one was fun. So just
Hey.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, thanks for watching on YouTube for the Packers video and scene. All right, I just want to show you this really quick before we talk about anything else. My God, dude, look at this crazy clip. Wow, look at that. That's my quarterback.
Oh wow,
Did you see that?
it's a drag route.
Hold on a minute. No.
Wow.
Look at that throw. You see my quarterback's head peeking right here after that sidearm throw.
I've ever seen.
Dude, yeah, hold on a minute.
a
Can I-
5-yard drag route. Now show the play where he almost killed Roma Dunze.
No, I don't want to. That doesn't fit my agenda. Look at this though. It's crazy.
That video.
Oh my God. It's so good. Anyways, yeah, that's enough film watch. Because we'll watch more on YouTube. Watch that
Yeah.
video when it comes out. Anyways, yeah, Ben, what was your
Ben.
talking point?
Yeah, really quickly. For those who don't know, I mean, like, this is like a little bit like somber compared to like our joking that we just had. But we had just seen like 2 cornerbacks in preseason today suffer like some pretty brutal stuff. If you haven't seen the Ravens video already, I would not recommend it. It is very rough and hard to stomach to watch.
Okay.
And then the Colts
If-
3rd round pick.
If you're sorry. If you're watching this back, please just watch my reaction to what Ben was talking about because I'm literally in real time. When I closed out of that Caleb clip, I just pressed the home button on my X thing, and the first thing that popped up was the Ravens guy that just got injured. And I watched that video, and if you have not a weak stomach, watch the video. It's fine, but you'll have the same reaction as me. It's really bad. Praise to him, man,
I would
because that's
not
scary.
recommend-
The dude could that's one of those injuries legitimately that like he could get that amputated if he does not get that to the hospital like immediately. That's just like really
And
bad.
That one
A rookie,
hurts,
too.
because the story behind him, like he had such like a like inspirational journey. Like he moved to the United States from England, like playing this game. It's really sad to see that again. If you haven't seen it, I would not recommend watching it. It's graphic. It is really, really, really awful. And then the Cardinals 3rd round pick that they selected this past year also got ruled out for the season because of torn ACL. That's Justin Wally. He'll miss the season now because of the torn ACL as well. So definitely we're seeing a little bit of injuries pop up as training camp and as preseason is opening up. So best of luck to players' safety and health, and then your team as well. So,
I just want to say something else really quick. So right now, we've got a lot of people watching us on Twitter, and I just want to say that I appreciate every single one of you that stuck through, because there's a lot of you that did. So, shout out to you guys and everybody else in YouTube land that is going to be watching this stuff later. And there's more to come. I don't know. Matt, any closing comments? Oh, Ben.
Yeah, I was just going to say next week's episode is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a little bit more of like a brisk, like fun feeling. Again, it'll be the first episode in like months now at this point where we're not doing schedule previews. But yeah, next week's episode is going to be kind of like our award episode where we'll go over kind of like your classic awards. Like, here's who we think is going to win this award. But then all three of us are going to be coming with our separate own 3 awards. Some are fun, some are serious. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really, really fun episode. A little bit of a change of pace compared to what we've been to the last like 2 or 3 months at this point. So really, really, really make sure you guys are watching that for the 38 people watching. And also, I'd like to remind the people watching, we usually do go live on Wednesdays. We just changed it up this week because of technical difficulties. But make sure you watch on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Follow the Twitter.
All
You'll
right.
always know. But I was watching Torrey Horton clips. Did you say we're bringing like actual awards too?
Yeah, I was under the impression that we were gonna say like this is who we think the MVP,
Okay.
EPOY, OPOY, all that stuff is.
That one, we'll figure that stuff out behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, I just wanted to say thanks again for tuning in. The support lately has been awesome. It seems like, all the work is paying off for us 3. And we're just getting started.
Yeah,
the season's right around the start. Yeah. So, season's right around the corner. Thanks a lot. And until next time, this has been the Pigskin Project. We want to thank Spotify for Podcasters, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Uppercut Scrimming for helping us grow as a podcast. And we'll see you guys next week on a Wednesday, not on a Thursday. So don't tune in on Thursday because we won't be live. Actually, tune in on Thursday. Watch the stuff. I don't know. Or don't. That's cool too.